Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is July the 23rd, 2019. Strong hand, be unique, beast, value your wealth in Bitcoin, having hype, unconfiscatable, offended by selling one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Don't focus your home insider, Bitcoin insider information. Be in motion, people. Check me out, TECHBALT on Twitter. I've been tweeting stuff out all day. My day was organized very nicely today. Been getting things done early. Really happy about being in motion that way. Love to get things done early. You feel very accomplished that way. Follow me. Oh, check out disruptmeister.com. Watch all my old videos. This week in Bitcoin was great. Philippines, Brazil, and South Africa were in the house. I'm planning this week in Bitcoin on Friday. Remember, you get a new show here every single darn day. And so, yeah, I've been doing these shows for a long time. And today, something that I tweeted out there was a clip from a January 19th, 2016 show of mine when Bitcoin was $387. It's linked to below. Retweet it. It's only a minute long. You don't need a long attention span or anything like that. What I say is, hey, what about all those articles that are coming out about how Bitcoin is only for white people? Hey, black people, if you're watching this, that means you really should buy Bitcoin now. Hey, I hope some black people took my advice back when it was $387 on January the 19th, 2016. You can look at it at yourself, and I still believe that today. That, dude, Bitcoin is for anyone. It doesn't discriminate against anyone. Don't let it, if you think this is only for upper class Winklevi people, you're going to miss out. And that's why the Winklevi, they don't care. And so what if people lie and say it's just for white people? We're going to buy it. So if you're a minority and you hear, oh, it's just for white people, that's the sign right there. Get in on it. Someone is trying to FUD you out, or someone is trying to virtue signal or make up some. Again, the media likes sensational headlines, and that was what was going on back in 2016. And I just said it like it was. Black people buy freaking Bitcoin, and guess what? Black people, you should still be buying it. Everybody should be buying it. All right, pound that like button for all the brothers in Baltimore. All right. So, what's going on? Oh, the art of holding. Let's talk about the art of holding. No, Matt Odell. And of course, the Bitcoin that I was buying in 2016, I still got my strong hand all over that thing, baby. All over that. Of course, it's given birth to some B cash, some B gold, some who knows what since then. By the way, you can get a shirt like this, All Good Lab, linked to below. All the shirts that I wear on this show. It's basically a new shirt every day. Dude, like I own like 50 Bitcoin shirts. I mean, thank you for all the support, all the people who send me the Bitcoin shirts. I can only take about 10 of them on my travels with me. You got to travel light, one big suitcase, that's it. Well, we can talk more about that on Saturday's show. So Matt Odell has a tweet, the amount of Bitcoin supply that has been untouched, i.e. not transferred, for at least 5 years, recently reached an all-time high. Now, we discussed this on another show. This potentially signals that Bitcoin is increasingly becoming a store of value as opposed to a medium of exchange. All right. Now, some of that Bitcoin, unfortunately, for the people who originally owned that Bitcoin, it's lost. That's why some of that Bitcoin hasn't moved. But the chart that he shows also shows that Bitcoin that's been held for 2 years, that amount has increased over time, in 3 years, in 4 years. So clearly more people are holding. Unfortunately, there are some people that are losing also. Now, does this mean you see the amount of Bitcoin that hasn't moved, okay, in this chart? That's an underestimate in terms of strong hands that are out there, okay? Because over a 5-year period, a lot of people, including myself, have altered their cold storage techniques So when you're altering your cold store, you're moving your Bitcoin. There's a lot of strong handers out there that move their Bitcoin every year, okay? They're not spending it. It's very much a store of value to them. But see, this is the art of holding. You can be holding, but you can be moving it around to different storage devices, whether you be a lot. Okay, so let's say you wanted to get the B Diamond crypto dividend, okay? You would have, if you were smart and you were totally safe about it, you would have moved your Bitcoin, okay? You would have moved your Bitcoin, but you wouldn't have lost. You would have invested in Bitcoin during that time period. Your hand would have become stronger during that time period. But if you were claiming that B Diamond crypto dividend, which was a fork form of the crypto dividend, you would have moved your Bitcoin and then used the private key to get your B Diamond, and then of course turn your B Diamond into more Bitcoin. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can watch in yesterday's video. I linked to a video that I made about how you can use the Garda wallet to claim your BSV. And I also talk about B Diamond claims in that video. That is linked to in yesterday's video. It was a video I made when I was, it was the video I posted when I was traveling between LA and Baltimore on July 1st. I guess it's my July 1st video. Check that out. But anyway, yeah, you could do a much more in-depth study to see, I'm not going to get into it. This chart is interesting enough. You could go inter-depth if you wanted to. And if you studied like, well, what are the big addresses that claim B Diamond? Let me see, once they claim their B Diamond, how often the Bitcoin moved from the address that it was moved to. I mean, this is complex stuff. Someone will do a chart on that one day, probably. All right. What's this? So yeah, there are some great super strong hands out there, more so than the chart implies. And you could be a super strong hand and move around your Bitcoin for all sorts of reasons. But again, those people claiming the crypto dividends, claiming the B Diamond, they're offended by selling, of course. They just move their Bitcoin around for safety reasons. Okay. So the Hill, that's a political website, newspaper of some sort. I read someone's comment. I'll read in a second. If you have questions, type in Bitcoin Meister in the chat. I'll read one in a second. Facebook and Amazon set lobbying records. Each company spent a little more than $4 million on lobbying in the second quarter. The first time either firm has spent that much on their influence operations in the capital. So Amazon and Facebook are ramping up their bribes of various politicians. And they can go much higher. They can go much higher than $4 million per quarter. So that's a reminder right there to all of you who are like, oh, Facebook might not get their Libra passed. Oh, they're just starting out. They're just starting out with their bribes, baby. Or you can call it bribes, you can call it lobbying, you can go with it. But the other name that was in there too, Amazon's ramping it up too. So yeah, they'll be able to pass. But once they ask for their cryptocurrency, they'll be able to get, or quote unquote cryptocurrency, they're going to be able to get it also. Now, speaking of quote unquote cryptocurrencies, some of these things get so centralized, you wonder, is this even a real cryptocurrency? What type of, and again, if you want to buy one of these altcoins that's clearly centralized around a leader, around an ego, that's your thing. But you're going to have to deal with events that happen, like something that happened today. Now, I don't like saying Tron on this site, on my channel at all, or Justin Sun. I don't know if I've even said that dude's name ever. But all of a sudden, there are a bunch of rumors about him today, not good rumors about him today. And woo, what happens? The price of Tron goes down 12%. Because again, as Udi put it in a tweet that I mentioned in a recent video, some of these coins depend so much on their founders that if their founders had something very bad happen to them, that the coins would lose an incredible amount of value and perhaps become valueless. And that is a tremendous difference between those guys and Bitcoin, okay? And this today was another reminder to everyone who needs to learn the hard way, the difference between being, centralized around one leader and not having a leader at all, and not having a founder at all, a founder who's probably deceased, or who knows where the founder of Bitcoin is. A founder who's known. But clearly Justin's son is known. Eventually we all leave this planet, okay? So these guys will all leave one day, and you make your own judgment call on that. So Jay Gilroy said, oh my God, the price fell. Talking about Bitcoin. Pack it up. He's talking about the fiat price because, of course, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. It's all over. Laugh out loud. Strong hand. Exactly. I'm laughing out loud all the way to the bank. Actually, not all the way to the bank. All the way to my hardware storage devices. Pound that like button. Okay. What was that other? I had some other good saying the other day. I forgot. What was it? Oh, always bet on Bitcoin. Except don't gamble ever. Ever played roulette? Don't, but always bet on Bitcoin. All right. So Guy Bennett said, Anders tweeted out, we are now only 300 days to halving. Pound that like button for round numbers. Oh, yeah. Obviously, Anders is, if he's put, I love Anders. And so all of you should now worship him because he said a round number of 300. I mean, that's what people do with like BowieBot and everything. When he says some fancy number, everybody worships him. Anders is actually smart though. And Anders, it doesn't make up, I can't say that word, like, BowieBot and all these other nonsense, sensationalized individuals, sensationalized, I don't even know why. No, I'm not going to use that word. Sensationalized entities that people just seem to love to worship. Again, Anders, he's no sensationalized dude. Although he does talk about, he's a big fan of hyper Bitcoinization. But that's his logical. He has some logical reason. I don't think the whole world's going to hyper Bitcoinize one day like Anders does. But no, Anders is he is no BowieBot or any of these other ridiculous sensational people out there. Okay, but always good to hear that Anders is tweeting shout outs to Los Angeles. That's where he is. All right. Hopefully Anders, I would say hopefully Anders will be on the show soon. He won't be because as long as I'm in Israel, it doesn't work. I can't get West Coast guests on when I'm in Israel. It's just time difference is too much. Unless they get up they don't want to get up that early. If you live in LA, you don't get up that early. All right, so moving on. We talked about Justin's son. Let's talk about flote.app. Flote. Maybe it's just float.app. Someone left it in my comments. They're like going to be, or they are a social media platform that's going to use cryptocurrency or that is using cryptocurrency. I checked it out briefly. Didn't sign up for it yet. Maybe all of you can check it out. At least someone's trying. Here's a tweet from them. It's from a woman that works for them who obviously is partially relying on her looks for attention, but whatever. That's some people got to do that. Hi all, just want to introduce myself. I am the community manager for Float and Bitbacker. So it makes me wonder, does Float and Bitbacker are they related? Because Bitbacker's pretty cool. I use Bitbacker. It's linked to below. Here for all you folks who are looking for a new social network that doesn't censor or ban you for speaking your truth, that integrates crypto, that is easy to use. Okay, it sounds good, community manager lady. I will look into it some more. I just wanted to throw it out there. I haven't had time to look into it some more. All right, so what did I write here? The USA will easily be able to get away with having no debt ceiling yet again, and the strong hand Bitcoin holders can enjoy the inflationary ride. SHTF, sugar hits the fan. It's not happening, people. There's so many people who are like, gotta barricade for the day when SHTF and the defecation hits the fan, and all these people who just dream of that day happening when there'll be just chaos. Now, 80% are going to do what they're going to do. They love the credit. They don't care. They love the credit cards. They love to spend the stuff. USA will always so basically we just raised the debt ceiling, and the next time they have to worry about it is 2021. So more debt. The United States is taking on more debt, printing out more money. Whatever trick they got to pull, they're going to be able to do it. All the other countries on the planet are doing it worse than us on a certain level. And so, yeah, so you don't want to value your wealth in fiat because of this. Now, does that mean that SHTF? No, of course not. No, you guys have been saying this for years and years and years. And you know what? The 80%ers their lives keep on getting better and better. They really do. I mean, they have a lot of envy, obviously, and they're just envious people, and they can be easily stirred up to vote for certain people and have envy and say, oh, income inequality. But man, they're living a good life. With their credit cards, they can buy Mercedes, they can get anything, and then they lose it, it gets repossessed, but whatever, they'll buy a big screen TV after that, they can get another credit card, and the cycle keeps going. As long as they have their bread and circuses, they will be fine. They won't be taken to the streets. SHTF isn't happening. But hey, so how can you prepare for this? Well, don't value your wealth in dollars. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Hold Bitcoin. It's in terms of dollars, it's going up. It's going up. It is a real asset. To be successful in life, to not be on this constant credit train and keeping up with the Joneses and really losing value on your dollars, but still having worthless stuff. The key to that is having real assets. And we all still have the ability to do that. The United States can keep on printing money and keep on raising the debt ceiling. That doesn't mean you can't have assets. Get the best asset out there, Bitcoin. You will be very much satisfied, and you will get to live quite a happy life, free of digging these doom holes, these very unnatural doom holes. It's not happening, people. They will keep on getting away with it. US dollar will continue to rule the fiat world. And that's just the way it is, dudes. And it's because the 80%ers buy into it. You might not buy into it. That's great. You understand the mathematics behind it, that the US dollar since 1907 or whatever, 1913, has lost so much value. Great. You understand it. You can brag to everyone how smart you are, or you can actually do something about it and buy Bitcoin, okay? Or you could do nothing and scream at the top of your lungs how in 2024, it's all going to fall apart. And everyone says, yeah, how will the United States be able to pay for Medicare in 2024 still? Well, I can tell you how. They'll just print a bunch of money. And some people will start screaming, no, that's not fair. You're destroying our wealth. My savings account, oh my God, it's worth so much less. Well, you should have got Bitcoin. I mean, you knew in advance this was going to happen. And then most people won't even care about that at all, because most people don't have savings account at all. They just know that their credit card will still be working. They'll be able to, and their EBT card will still be working. They'll still be able to be fed by the government. They'll still be able to get free cell phones from the government. And then all this free stuff they'll still be able to get. And again, the people, the so-called smart people who had the savings accounts and the 401ks all valued in, or IRAs valued in dollars, those are the people who are going to be a little angry, or going to be angry. They're going to go, wait a second, I did the right thing. I valued my wealth in dollars and I saved in dollars. Dudes, get outside that dollar mindset. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. It's not just a saying, it's a way of freaking life. Pound that like button. But yeah, this is great. This is great for Bitcoin. What was announced today, that all of the Democrats and Republicans have all agreed to spend like crazy, keep the government open, and reevaluate the debt ceiling, in 2021, of course, after the presidential election, because they don't want that to be a topic. They don't need to argue about that. No, let it be easy for them. Again, let it be easy for us. They make it easy for themselves to push off this issue. We make it easy for ourselves by buying Bitcoin. How about that? All right. Again, or you can just complain and predict the world's going to end. It's not ending. All right. Here he says, what is this? Rock 873. Do you think Bitcoiners will become top of the social, sexual hierarchy above athletes, rappers, etc.? I think certain Bitcoiners, well, how about this? Wealthy men, no matter what they look like, no matter what their age are, no matter what assets they hold, are very high up there. So Bitcoiners will be no different than their equivalent in terms of real estate holders and such. in the hierarchy. So if a woman finds out how wealthy a certain Bitcoiner is, she will rank him similarly to the guy who owns that much real estate. Will it be cooler? At first, there might be a little bit of a cool factor with this new asset class that might rank the Bitcoiner ahead of the real estate guy. I don't know. But wherever you think the real estate holders, the investment bankers with lots of assets, where they rank right now, do you think they rank above athletes? Yeah, I mean, that's where the Bitcoiner will be once people catch on. And again, I mean, if a Bitcoiner was really wanted to signal, he'd go out to the bar and right now, I mean, he could figure it out right now. A Bitcoiner could go to a bar and start and buy the whole bar drinks and say, hey, I'm buying this whole bar drinks. And then immediately some women would start to converse with him, and then he could explain. Well, they'd be like, well, how can you do this? And he'd be like, hey, have you ever heard of Bitcoin before? And they'd be like, no. Most likely they'd say no. And then he would explain, well, I have, $10 million worth of Bitcoin. And from there you go. That's they would rank him immediately among, $10 million worth of assets, traditional finance guys. Okay, so hey, but I'm not saying to do that, dudes. You got to value your wealth in Bitcoin, because if you do that, if you go through that scenario and you're clearly valuing your wealth in something other than Bitcoin under that scenario, and you're very likely to weaken your hand on that Bitcoin and start spending it on really ridiculous things and trusting someone that you shouldn't trust with your Bitcoin. So be very careful right there, dudes. But a very, very interesting question. Very interesting question. Okay, so there was, and I didn't link to this. Someone, again, and I am TechBalt on Twitter. Pound that like button. Someone sent me a DM, and it was to a tweet where someone thought it was so a novel concept. Like, no matter what happens, I'm saving one Bitcoin. I'm making, and this is a person who just buys altcoins all day, pumps altcoins all day, values their wealth in altcoin. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it just reminded me like how far removed we are over here in the land of insider information. How we're not in this world, this sector, this huge sector of the crypto world, where they are just gambling altcoins, where they're valuing their wealth in altcoins and dollars. They're just trying to get more dollars. And they are it's coming to their heads now, like, yeah, maybe I should just save at least one Bitcoin. The whole point of this is getting more and more Bitcoin. That should be if you're trading altcoins, you should be trying to get more and more Bitcoin. One Bitcoin? What the heck? What the heck? Again, the name of this show is the One Bitcoin Show, because it sets a goal. Get that one Bitcoin. That's the first thing you get. You don't become an altcoin trader and do all this nonsense and then realize, oh, yeah, I'll save one Bitcoin one of these days, so I have one. Like the person was talking about it as like insurance. Like, just in case everything goes wrong, I'll have one Bitcoin. Just in case everything goes wrong. No. If everything goes wrong, there'll be no Bitcoin at all. I mean, no. Bitcoin is the way you value wealth. That is the future. So you're a long-term thinker. You're trying to get as much of that future wealth as possible. Okay. So it's just amazing how it was like considered a novel and people were like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. I should, all of these coins I have, better put one Bitcoin aside. Better put one Bitcoin aside. Somebody just sent 70 South African Rand. Hi, Adam. It's Richard from Altcoin Trader. Yes, I remember. You met me in South Africa. Love what you are doing, dude. Well, I've been thinking about you a lot lately, actually, Richard, because when I you are like the only exchange that still lists Be Private on there. And it's weird. CoinMarketCap hasn't given you the seal of approval yet. I don't even know why they have. I mean, someone was tweeting out earlier today that, what's taking CoinMarket, some of these exchanges that CoinMarketCap is approved, shouldn't be approved, and what's it going to take now? But man, I love meeting you and altcoin. I mean, again, dudes, you can get Bitcoin on there too. You can turn your South African Rand into Bitcoin on Altcoin Trader. You can also turn it into altcoins. That's your personal business if you're going to do things like that. Again, I like the Bitcoin, baby. I say if you're in South Africa, better get yourself some Bitcoin. All right, Guy Bennett, and it's Richard. It is really good to see you in the chat, and thank you for the support, dude. And I'm glad to see that you were. We met in March. What was it? March the 9th, 2018, and a lot has changed since then. But you guys are still doing what you're doing down in South Africa, which is great, great, great. You are in motion, as we say. All right. So yeah, we can be friends with altcoiners too, people. He's a good guy. Richard's a good guy. All right. So was lucky enough to check. Here's Guy Bennett, sent $10. Thanks, dude. And he says, was lucky enough to check in with Anders. He says he's always open to an invite to the One Bitcoin show. Of course yes, he knows. He loved his 2 previous appearances and is willing to work out a schedule for, he's willing to work out a schedule for the West. He's not going to be able to get up that early. I know he's not going to be able to. Maybe sometimes he leaves California and he'll be closer to here. We'll be able to work. Trust me, I got my eye on Anders too. I had Guy Bennett and Anders, if you're watching. There now, Anders is in the chat now. I've started. Thanks for bringing to my attention, Guy Bennett. Always love to work with Adam. He is great, of course. Good to see you here. Good to see you here, Anders. I do not want to wake up a family man that early in the morning, LA time, and but I know you do travel, and so everybody loves when Anders is on the show, and everybody loves Anders in the Los Angeles, in the Century City Bitcoin community, putting on great events. He got Tone there, he got Vortex there, he got me to come out there. So again, I love real people that I meet in person. They end up on the show too, man. I love it. That is in motion. That is the Bitcoin Meister channel, meeting real people like Richard in South Africa, like Anders in Los Angeles, like who knows who else is going to show up one of these days in the chat. All right, dudes. That's the end of the show. Remember, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. And don't just stumble into 1 Bitcoin and say, maybe I should keep this. No, that should be your aim. That should be your goal. Value your wealth in Bitcoin, because then you don't have to worry about the money printing in the United States and all of that stuff too. And again, the United States will be able to get away with it. Just some people, their wealth will be inflated away gradually. You, on the other hand, your wealth will only grow with Bitcoin. All right, I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Pound that like button, bang that bell button, subscribe to the channel. New show here every day. Click on those squares. I'll say hi to you dudes in the chat. Bye.